What are your tips out there for women that are lonely? Maybe their moms, maybe their children have left home. How can they connect better on social media?
That's actually a really good question. I would seek out what your passions are because I feel like you can create better connections with something that you're passionate about. So for instance, for me personally, like I always go look at the wellness communities and I always look for groups on social media. So I'll always search out like wellness minded groups and kind of get an idea there. An example is I actually had a connection in one of the groups. One of the women's were talking about they host events for women for wellness, like small like little pop-up ones that are like 20, 40 person events. And I wrote to her, I saw her post and I said, hey, I think we should connect and collaborate. I think this is great. I'd love to get to know you and stuff. And so that's kind of how we do that. Like, sure, there's those like fun quizzes, like, which most Disney character you most like, that everybody kind of kind of gets their day into. But as long as you stay, use that as like some free time. But that's how I use social media to create and connect. I also DM people a lot. Um, if there's a brand or an influencer or even a celebrity that I adore, I'll just send them a DM and I just say, hey, I like your stuff. I do this. Like, can we collaborate? I'd love to meet you or whatever. And a lot of my relationships are created like that. And then you see them at local events and get out of the house. Like, go outside. If you see a local event that's in your niche, whether it's bingo or whatever it might be, it doesn't matter what it is. I actually love bingo, but but whatever it might be, just I think that's the best way to communicate with people and to really create that community that you want to have.
Wow, I really love that. I think that you gave people some really good tips. And I DM a lot of people the same way, and that's how you meet them. And then
Yeah,
you make these crazy, amazing connections with people that are interested in the same
yeah.
things that you are.
No, 100%. And obviously use the use of hashtags because people will find you through hashtags. And don't block off your DMs. Like I find a lot of gems, like a lot of people DM me and I don't turn them off because I want to meet people and I use it as a community. Because again, you can exclude yourself from a social media community if you have everything blocked off to the world, but open up a little bit and check those those filtered messages that Instagram and Facebook does, and you might find some really good hidden gems. I know I have.
Oh, for sure. And you also find the other ones,
Oh
but
no,
you,
you
you,
find the other ones. Like yeah, I've got
you
some
really
fun
don't.
pictures in my inbox too. That I really don't want to see. But
You're like, whoa, where do the people
yeah,
find the time?
no, I totally get it. But I found a lot of my strongest social connections that I've gotten have all been through groups that have similar interests as me, and then also through just DMs because people want to find people. That's why people are out on social media. They want to find people. They want to find community. Not everyone's like that, but that's why I recommend finding someone that has the same interests as you, and you'll connect with them, even if they live across the country. There's always DM, there's always Zoom, like we're on, and Facebook Messenger and FaceTime and all of that stuff. So you can always have a relationship that way too.
Well, I love that. What do you think makes your social influencer part of Bloom Media unique?
Because we're really authentic. I don't work with brands or people um, that aren't transparent. I'm really adamant about that. I mean, people that know me and follow me, like I won't talk about a brand if I don't really like their products or if they have bad ingredients. And personally, I have to do that for my own personal well-being because if it doesn't mesh with me, I just can't do it. I turn down a lot of money and I make it very vocal that I do that for brands that just have really bad ingredients in their products. And I'm not scared to do that. And that's kind of what we do on our platforms. The events that we do will only work with brands that we believe in their products. We've turned down doing private events for brands we don't believe in. And the bigger events that we do, like the Bloom Summit coming up, we handpick the brands that we would like to have there and showcase at the event as well.
Wow, I love that. I totally believe in being in alignment and being vocal about, like, if you have a platform,
Yeah.
you have a responsibility to maintain it to your own integrity.
Yeah. And I think that unfortunately that gets lost. You know, I'm finding influencers that grow to a certain amount. It does sometimes get lost. It doesn't always get lost, but sometimes it gets lost because, you know, the money outweighs the passion, unfortunately. But um, I, I don't like that route. And I've found a really wonderful community of influencers that I work with that are always going to be on this track. And I really appreciate and respect that. And I'll continue to work with them and promote them. Yeah,
I
forever.
love that. I'm really picky about the brands that I promote.
Yeah,
Sometimes probably to my own detriment. I'm so picky about it, but I don't want to tell somebody to try something or do something that I don't 100% believe in or that I
yeah,
feel would be harmful in any way.
yeah. If I'm not going to use it on me or my body or my family's and their bodies, like I'm not going to ask you to use it on your body or your family's body. That's kind of my whole MO.
Yeah, I love that. I love
Mhm.
that. Now I'm just going to throw you for a loop. Why should we all have our own fight song?
Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite songs. Um, because I think it gives you integrity. I think everybody needs to have their own will and their own reason to be here, and they need to fight for it, and they have to make it known, because I always feel like if you don't have that, then that's where you start losing the self-love. I always feel like that kind of goes hand in hand, is the fight and the integrity and the passion. I think they all kind of go together, and ultimately it creates this path towards self-love.
Well, and I think a lot of us may have expectations, where we think when we get in a relationship, when we get married, when we have the perfect job, well, we wouldn't have to fight for anything, right? We wouldn't have to stand up for our
Yeah,
own identity or our own beliefs. Now, I think people have this just misunderstanding of that. And I
I
think you
agree.
have to have, if you don't have a fight song or you don't have a little something to fight for, that, your own identity, right? Because you can get lost, I
Yep,
think, having kids, being a mom, being a
yep,
wife, being whatever, a PTO director.
yeah, yeah.
You'll have the PTO, but, if you don't have that little something for yourself, you're going to lose your identity, I think.
I totally agree with you. And ultimately, it kind of it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, is that you can't live your life for somebody else. And, you know, if you don't fight for something that you believe in or have your own integrity, I think and if it gets lost somewhere, then you're going to be living your life for somebody else, and you're going to lose your will to be here.
Yeah, yeah. So I think uh in when you guys review this back, just let us know what your fight song is and
Oh,
why.
I want to know everybody. I'm going to read all the comments on that. I want to know.
I totally think that would be like so interesting to see.
Yeah, I would love to
So
see that.
I love that. I probably have had a few different ones over time.
I think they're always going to change, though. I
They
don't think
evolve.
that you're going to have just one fight song throughout your entire life. Like maybe everything kind of will stem off of some of the originals, but I always feel like everybody changes, your life circumstance changes, and you have something new to fight for. You know, when you're not married and then you're married, or, you know, have a partner and decide to have kids or not have kids. I mean, your whole life transition just changes. And I think you will have multiple fight songs.
Yeah, and it's important to have that why that gets you out of bed every morning. It's what drives you and what lights you up inside. So I just think having that fight song is kind of a semblance of that.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
I love that. I love, you have to check out her blog. Where can they find you on social media and read your blog?
Yeah, so all of my handles are Beauty Mommy. So it's beauty and then MOMME on everywhere. It's from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. That's all it is. And then my website is the same thing. It's beautymommy.com. So beauty and then MOMME.com. And if you want to check out my media company, it's called newbloommedia.com.